So we're here with Quasi, real general, real top man in I think, and we are say the lion's voice, it. Simple like that. You want to get the knowledge, YouTube, it.
I see. Introduce yourself still.
I guess my name still, you know. Everybody know me, I'm not officer nothing. I guess my name, I start.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Ras Tafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Ras Tafari.
Where the goal is for us to become better warriors, challenging oppression, specifically people, policies, and practices. That's if we are an oppressed people, and we must learn to get good at challenging people that oppress us, policies that oppress us, and practices, regardless of whether they're labeled or not. And so that's what the warrior part comes from. Now, the healer part is healing from the wounds of oppression that have come down by my family line and that are exacerbated when there's hands up, don't shoot. When a black child can't be taught anything, taught anything that'll make a white child uncomfortable. That is, those kinds of policies and practices, police brutality, has created wounds in our community. And even the helping professions that pretend to help us heal those wounds only wound us more. Okay, and so we got to be, on the one hand, people who challenge people, policies, and practices. On the other hand, we also have to heal from the wounds inflicted daily and that have been passed down my family line. And while we fight and while we heal, we still have to build with each other, right? Build families, build organizations, and companies and schools and everything that we need to build. When we take the first two in consideration, then we build differently.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabe is giving birth in a place called Urgersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Lich Tafari's father, Ras Tafari, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Tafari is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Tafari knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Lich Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwesi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
My guest today is one of the co-founders of the Afiya Institute, Educational Institute. He's spoken all over the country. He's coming here to the DMV, which is why I wanted to get him on next Thursday. We're going to hear about the East Coast tour. We're going to have to bring on his queen, his royal queen. He's a family man as well. So help us to welcome the great Baba Wekesa. Royal blessings, Baba. Let me unmute you here. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Kwesi, for having me here. Thank you for all that you do and have done for our community and our people. It is a pleasure to be here with you, and it'll be a pleasure to see you in the DMV live.
Yes, I'm going to make sure I'm there. We're going to spread it on our platforms. I did a long interview with Baba in Mississippi. I just got my camera. I was so excited and hype, and then I got home and the audio was terrible. There was a man moving in the room, and it was all in the
I remember we were trying to work around him.
He was very interested in the topic too. So we touched at least one person. It wasn't for nothing. That's a special angel of the Most High, that brother. You got a in-person history. So today, though, we don't have time to jump into history. I'm going to bring Baba back because his history is intertwined with the history of the people of this soil that I'm on. Our African brothers who born and raised in America. One of the greatest struggles, I tell people, Black American culture, the most powerful culture on the planet. I don't think it's even arguable. So the Africans who came on this soil have done tremendous impact globally. But that's not why we're here. We're here because we can't get along, Baba.
Well, of course, being raised in an environment that benefits from our not being able to get along, that promotes our not being able to get along, it makes sense that we can't get along. Okay, if we have that a concept, because we typically have the concept of, well, why shouldn't we? I'm Black, you're Black, we ought to be able to get along.
Exactly.
Yes, well, that's true. And if we account for the fact that we have been socialized and rewarded for not getting along, okay? And what's the poison that's put into the just normal communication is European poison. It's like they, as much as we like to believe that they get along, no, okay? Between them, even when we remove us, all that you have is war, okay? Yes. All you have is competition, and a level of competition that does not wrapped in family, okay? Yes. And if you study their history, it's a history of warring with each other and on each other, all right? So even when it's normalized, what we learn from them won't get us the kind of unity that we need for us and that we brought here with us and that we're used to. And so it makes sense that we can't get along, okay? Or that, excuse me, it's not that we can't, that we don't, because we've been socialized not to.
Okay. So you've created a system. You and Mama Afiya have created a system, the Warrior Healer Builder. I'm a board member of Habesha. We use the Warrior Healer Builder in all of our programs. It's mandatory, and I think that's been one of the pillars of why we have been able to sustain for over 20 years and be successful. We haven't used it the whole time, but we have worked assiduously to ensure that we build resilience into our programming. Just explain to the people, what is the Warrior Healer Builder? What is the concept behind it? Okay. How is it useful for this time that we're in?
Excellent. Warrior Healer Builder is, let me start with those words. It's a process for our communicating, where the goal is for us to become better warriors, challenging oppression, specifically people, policies, and practices. That's, if we're an oppressed people, and we must learn to get good at challenging people that oppress us, policies that oppress us, and practices, regardless of whether they're labeled or not. And so that's what the warrior part comes from. Now, the healer part is healing from the wounds of oppression that have come down by my family line and that are exacerbated when there's hands up, don't shoot. When a black child can't be taught anything, taught anything that'll make a white child uncomfortable. That is, those kinds of policies and practices of police brutality has created wounds in our community. And even the helping professions that pretend to help us heal those wounds only wound us more. Okay. And so we got to be, on the one hand, people who challenge people, policies, and practices. On the other hand, we also have to heal from the wounds inflicted daily and that have been passed down my family line. And while we fight and while we heal, we still have to build with each other. Right? Build families, build organizations, and companies and schools and everything that we need to build. When we take the first two in consideration, then we build differently. We're building our organizations so that we have more room to heal and so that we have a better platform for challenging oppression. Okay? When we heal, we're healing not to fit in. We're healing so that we'll be a better fighter and a better builder, okay? And we're fighting, that is the warrior part, so that we have more room to heal and build, all right? It's really, really important because if I'm challenging oppression, in the process, I injure the people who I'm fighting for so that nobody wants me to come around. My family doesn't want me to come around, like, because I'm the consummate warrior. Right.
Yes.
But I have, in the process, in my correctness, injured the very people that I'm supposed to be fighting for.
Let me translate that to my Ras Tafari audience. So the fireman, you burn out everything, you burn everyone. You know what I mean? You're just burning the fire, but you're not looking at the impact, how you're behaving. You know what I mean? You have no diplomacy, no diplomacy. You are just fiery all day, every day, and I've seen it where these brethren, oftentimes they die lonely, they die, there's a lot of hurt, their children, are alienated, queen, everything. So I'm just translating what Baba is saying.
I love it.
For my Rastafari, because we call them the fireman.
Very good.
Who's very fiery, but you have to balance. So continue.
Yes. Oh, you're absolutely right. I appreciate that. It has to be balanced. Okay. The fireman has to be balanced. All the perpetual healer, the one that says all we have to do is take care of ourselves and everything is going to be all right. No, that's not true. Okay. I also have to challenge people, policies, and practices. Okay. Because we live in an environment where there's actively, and right now, if you didn't know it before, all right, it's clear to everybody, this aggression toward our people. Okay. It's not enough for folks to have what they have and whatever. No, there is an aggression toward our people. And so it's not enough for me to I'm going to make sure I breathe right. Now, don't get me wrong. That's important that I do that.
Yes, balance.
It's just that it's not enough. Just like for the fireman, it's important that we challenge. That's not enough. All right. We have to be skilled. And I don't just mean knowledgeable. See, I can be knowledgeable about how to build a house. I read the books, I watched the videos, but I'm not skilled at it until I practice it. And so being skilled at warrior, healer, builder, and switching between the two.
Yeah, Ras Tafari, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Tell the people about embrace many. Well, even if the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, well, to the coming while we stand tall, I will shower you with my love. And even when the people start ball, cause they see the city streets them flood, but like the hurricane blow down their wall, I'll be by your side and me now, but think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. Think I found the love of a lifetime. down. I will never hide, I'd rather stand my ground. Lion of Judah blessed with the triple crown. Can't come fool I with no circus clown. Now fear no hurricane or the cyclone. Respect for Mama Earth with that embedded on me bone. That's why I will never leave you alone. Protect you from harm when the alarm sound. So even when the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, to the coming war we stand tall. I will shower you with my love. And even when the people start mal, when they see their city streets them flood, when the hurricane blow down our wall, I'll be by your side and me not budge. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your light was a lifeline. I think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. They say hurt people, maybe that's why Babylon them so evil. Maybe Babylon abuse as a child. That's why them no like the light when you smile. That's why them no like how your body curve. The way how you dance get on Babylon nerve. Them no know how the Almighty you serve. Want to be a queen, so a king you deserve. And I'll be by your side when things get worse. When the city flood cause the dam just burst. When you can depend on no state or church. Firm like a man in an highly Selassie first.